When I get heart surgery or if I board a plane, I don't care about the color of the skin of the person doing it. I want excellence and I want meritocracy.
Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel AGM Media. It is always a pleasure to have you here. I hope you're doing good. Me personally, I'm doing great. Today we are going to react on Charlie Kirk video. That video that made a lot of people say a lot of things about Charlie Kirk. I have a friend who told me Charlie Kirk said if I get on the plane and I figure out the pilot is a black person, I'm not going to travel in that plane. I'm not going to travel in that plane. Are you serious? I went online and I listened to the entire video. So what a lot of people do, they just cut the video, like they take the video out of the context and just say whatever suit them. So please listen entirely to this video and use, of course, use your intelligence, not your emotion. Let's go, guys.
Um, what do you think about blind hiring? Are you for blind hiring?
No.
No. So why not? Because blind hiring, for those you don't know, is based on merit, where you don't
it's
look.
not.
So what's blind hiring?
Blind hiring would be that you do not put the race actually when you submit for, you don't even see the person when you interview them for a job.
No. That's one part of blind hiring. There's
Okay,
multiple
so-
ways to do blind hiring. But at the end of the day, blind hiring is exactly not knowing the person's race, age, or gender. That's based on merit. Like you said, you want merit, correct?
Well, hold on. Those things can factor into merit as well. For example, if I'm trying to hire for an Amazon warehouse worker, and all of a sudden I find out that they're at 69 with 1 year left from retirement and the age is not disclosed, wouldn't I prefer to have a 24-year-old man than a 69-year-old woman who's overweight?
You're moving the goalposts. Let's bring it back here.
No, I'm
the
not.
whole point was about blind hiring.
No,
right?
you said race, sex, and age is not incorporated.
Correct.
I think you should have a full picture of a human being is when you hire them.
So you care about diversity?
No, actually I don't.
Why? Because that's basically merit. You're focusing solely on merit. You said you want meritocracy.
Just to be clear, if diversity happens naturally through meritocracy, great. If all of a sudden we have
That's
people
DEI.
that, well, no, it's not. DEI is by force.
So let me
DEI,
explain that.
No.
Go ahead.
I got to interject.
Go ahead.
DEI is that we are going to forcibly make an institution more colorful.
Right.
We're going to forcibly make an institution more black. Where if all of a sudden, if half of Texas A&M was black because it was all on merit, praise God, that's an amazing thing. It doesn't matter. If all of a sudden, for example, if the NBA is 75% black because it's on merit, great, terrific. If the NFL is half black because it's on merit, we don't want to force race. We want excellence and meritocracy over race in every possible circumstance.
Right, yeah, my turn. Okay, so let's get into the NBA, for instance, right? Can we both agree at one point black people weren't allowed into the NBA, and then they allowed them to be in the NBA? Wouldn't that be considered diversity? Wouldn't that be DEI in itself?
No. It's actually the opposite. You see, you're
How
mistaken,
so?
my friend. It's actually, we're getting rid of any racial stereotyping. What happened was actually a form, no, DEI is racial stereotyping.
So
what actually was before was a form of white preference DEI, which is white supremacy or whatever, and then we got rid of it. We said, we're not going to discriminate it, and the quality of play got better. Do you guys see the difference between the two? You see, it's very important. Well, no, actually, I'm talking to both you and the crowd, right? I'm talking to both, right? So what ended up, what you want is you actually want to bring back a form of how Major League Baseball and the NBA used to work before we desegregated.
So we can agree that Executive Order 11246 is what basically brought in DEI, correct?
I think that might be it. Is that the affirmative action one? I don't know.
No, it's not the affirmative action. It's for DEI. So within that executive order, where does it say that they're solely focused on making people get into jobs? For instance, like United Airlines, right? You mentioned that, well, let's pause that. I'm going to get to here. So for an example of DEI is basically your daughter, right? She decides to get a job, right? And unfortunately, it's that time of the month. She goes into the bathroom. Calm down. She goes into the bathroom. Stop. She's going into the bathroom.
You're losing the audience, man.
I don't care. I'm talking to you. So she goes into the bathroom, right? And she goes into the bathroom and gets a tampon or a pad that's been given from the job. That is DEI. That is literally, yes. Yeah. You don't know. That's great. So if you don't know, DEI, interrupt me so he can win. Go ahead. You want to do that, right? Or be quiet and we can talk. Thank you. So, right. Can I continue? Thank you. So my thing is dead. All right. So yes, because in Executive Order 11246, they say that DEI is focusing on a safer environment and a more equitable environment within the workplace and the hiring process. Let's look at Google. Google actually does DEI. You know how they do DEI? Give me an example. Do you know Google's DEI? I'm pretty sure you don't.
And they shouldn't, of course not.
What is their DEI initiative?
I actually don't know the specifics because I don't know every company specifics.
I got
However, let me ask you a question. When you're hiring somebody, would you rather hire someone that's black or someone that there is excellent?
So that's what we're talking about. That's not what DEI is.
Actually, it is. So let me prove it to you. As I said, according to the Student for Fair Admission Supreme Court case, black students were able to get into Harvard with
affirmative action, not DEI.
Affirmative action. Hold, time out.
You're
time
bringing
out.
old shit.
Time out. Time out. You're getting too worked up here, man. Okay. Time out. Affirmative action is DEI in practice. You see, DEI is a theory.
Wasn't it struck down by Supreme Court?
Yes, and they still ignore it.
So why are you bringing it up?
Because they're still ignoring it, my friend.
So let's focus on my question I asked you.
Hold on. Let's get back to the core macro tenet, which I think is very important.
Correct.
Which is, wouldn't you prefer a country built on excellence and merit,
not
one
DEI does.
based on forced pigmentation diversity? Why does somebody's skin color matter? No, tell me, what differences do you as a black man and me as a white man have, and why does it matter?
Okay, so
why does it matter?
So let's look at, because again, you don't understand what DI is, and you're trying to put it in one stance, which is not. So, thank you. So back to this question. So in executive order, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't know executive order 11246, correct? So
I have an idea of what President Trump signed, correct? But because he got rid of that executive order.
Right. And in that executive order,
I really like what Charlie Kirk is talking about. It's very simple to understand. Imagine you have your company. How are you going to hire people? How are you going to hire your employees? Are you going to hire a black person today and hire a white person tomorrow? The next day you hire a black person again, and the other day you hire a white person. Like, you just alternate like that. How are you going to do? If you do that, it's not going to work. Of course, it can work if you hire a black intelligent person and the next day you hire a white intelligent person. Like, just don't close your eyes and be like, I want my company to be diverse. I want white and black people in my company. It's not going to work like that. You can have both white and black people in your company, but the most important thing is the capacity to make your company move forward. You can't just close your eyes and hire people like that. Very simple. I like it.
It says, literally, y'all can Google it too. It says that DEI focuses on both the workplace and hiring.
Oh,
now,
got it. So does it
now
focus on diversity?
Let me explain the
Does
DEI
it have the word
initiative.
diversity?
Yes. But
we should not have any forced diversity, period. End of story.
It's not forced diversity. It does not say forced diversity. And I'll put money on that too.
Does it say diversity?
It says diversity, yes.
Well, then it's forced diversity.
But it's not forced diversity.
Then what is it? It's a suggestion?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm lying. Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
But it has the word diversity.
Does it say forced diversity in executive order?
Hold on, let me get this straight. Executive order with the word diversity.
Can I give you an example of DI initiative then?
Diversity?
Let me give you an example of DI initiative so
okay.
you have a better understanding. So let's look at Google, right? Google's one of the hardest companies to actually get into. In fact, I believe there's a 0.2% chance that you actually get the job, right? They actually run a DI initiative. Their DI initiative is called a hiring committee, where they have a diverse group of people that have been working.
Awful.
How? So you're telling me Google sucks?
Google actually is, honestly.
So y'all using Bing. Y'all using Bing.
Honestly, ChatGPT's way better than Google recently. I don't know about you guys. No, but honestly, to your point though, Google has lost its competitive edge in a lot of ways the last 10 years. Hold on a second. Again, Google does a lot right, but hold on. Google has lost the social media war. Google tried to launch a Facebook competitor, an Instagram competitor. Failed. They tried to also launch a Zoom and Skype competitor.
Let's focus on the conversation.
Failed.
That has no proof
Google's
that was
market
DI.
cap, Google's market cap, otherwise known as Alphabet, has actually missed expectations over the last 2 years versus Netflix, Amazon, and Apple and Microsoft. In fact, there was a prediction 10 years ago that Google would be the first $3 trillion company.
Right.
Turns out that it was actually Microsoft that was the first $3 trillion company.
Right,
now, of
right,
course, Alphabet is
right.
a very good company in a lot of different ways. But if your argument right now is like, well, because one of the biggest companies on the planet has embraced a bad idea, what is your argument exactly?
They're still one of the best companies in the
Not
world.
because of that, because
What
they
do
were
you-
built by
look, you
merit,
just
and
said-
it's being destroyed by
Exactly.
diversity.
And they use DEI to get that merit.
and-
Listen, if they're hiring people, yes, it makes sense. If you're doing a hiring process and you have a hiring committee that is DEI and they're hiring the people that's making the company as great as we just said, and
hasn't,
your
though,
argument,
but
your argument is that
the point
DEI
is that
takes away merit.
it does.
But if we see that Google is doing well and they're using DEI, how the hell are you
Time
saying
out.
that DEI is not making merit?
First of all, Google has not had this hiring committee around since its inception.
They have. Not since its inception, but they had
Okay.
it for a while. And
Secondly-
the people in the committee are
Secondly-
people who's been there for a while,
Secondly,
which is very diverse.
Secondly, you have not answered this fundamental question, though.
Go ahead.
Which is, can you tell me when an organization gets forcibly more diverse, it gets better?
Google.
Again, I just proved to you, Google is...
Google.
Okay.
I just gave you Google.
Again,
They use DEI. Not only are they one of the best companies. Oh, yeah. I hate that argument. Great.
I mean, again, it's just, they're fine. I'm not going to like totally kind of crap on Google, but like more importantly and more broadly, I do think you have to answer the question.
So I can't-
Why does skin color matter at all in hiring? Answer that question. Why
Great.
does skin color matter?
So if we look at basketball, because you love talking about that, right? Can we both agree that at one point there was no black athletes, and then what happened? They diversified.
We got rid of forced segregation, which is a form of DEI.
And that diversified the basketball,
because
right?
it was based on merit.
Was it diversified?
Yes, but not by
Thank
force.
you
No, hold on a second.
very much.
Hold on, but if your argument is that if you want to make things more merit-based, then let's do it.
It is more
No,
merit-based.
hold on a
They
second.
made it diversifying. They diversified
Man.
basketball, bringing black people who are good in it.
Nothing you're
making
saying.
it diverse.
Nothing you're saying is making any sense.
Oh, okay, I bet.
Because what they did.
Of course
is
you don't.
The NBA went to pure merit, pure excellence. Are you good at this? That's all they cared about. In the
They
NBA
allowed black people in, right?
Exactly, because prior.
Okay, then.
Hold on. Because you know what they had prior was a form of racial stereotyping. And you want more racial stereotyping. Your worldview is indecipherable from the KKK.
So enough-
what you want, it's indecipherable because you are race obsessed. I am not race obsessed.
No, you
You
are,
talk about the
though.
race.
You
talk
are,
about race
though.
more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Right.
Because
I'm
you.
the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Well, think about it.
Right. Yeah,
No, I said your
yeah.
worldview. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're around talking about race all the time. I'm talking about character. Which of
You
us?
talk about race all the time. You literally said DEI is based on race when it's not.
Because
It's
I'm
DEIA
explaining- I'm
with
ex-
accessibility.
Man, you're getting
meaning-
really upset.
My
You
bad,
should
you're right,
take
because
a
you keep
pause.
lying. For instance, right? I've been trying to say this. DEI, one part of DEI is literally giving women tampons or pads at work. Oh, yeah, you're laughing because you don't know that.
Giving
Listen,
women
Charlie-
tampons is a form of DEI.
Yes, it is. You know why? Let me explain. Yeah, y'all know. I got you. I'm about to explain to you guys. So basically what happens is, the reason why we have DEI is the fact that in a job location, right, they want to hire more people of diverse. So what these initiatives, these goals, these aspirations that they're doing is trying to bring more people in. For instance, like if, what's that store? Trader Joe's, right? They let people sit down while they they bring stuff in. They help disability. That's DEI. That helps disabled people get a job at Trader Joe's. But what you're telling me is that we are not allowed to tell people that for like onboarding in itself is also DEI. When they explain to you sexual harassment, when they do all these things, when they make it more a safer place, that is DEI. And what you're saying is that the workplace shouldn't be safe. What you're saying is that more companies should
none of
have
these things.
discrimination lawsuits.
Let's get back
That's
to
what DEI
let's
stops.
get back
Discrimination lawsuits.
DEI is racial quotas. End of story.
Give me one racial quota.
United
Give me one.
Airlines.
I Googled that.
So
go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh,
I
you
Googled it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So
So go ahead, continue.
what did United Airlines announce? Because you know what I said about black pilots. What did they announce when it came to pilots?
So-
and why should skin color matter when you board an airplane?
So just to remind everybody, it's Charlie Kirk's idea. He basically, stop talking. So Charlie Kirk basically,
Ooh, that's very misogynist. That's not very
I'm
DEI
cooking.
of you.
All right, let me finish cooking. So, right. So, can I finish? So, Charlie Kirk said that they're basically hiring women of color to make 40 or 50%, right? But when you actually look into it, what happens is
Women and people of color.
right, women and people of color. What happens is they're creating a program that's allowing women to train to become pilots. If you actually look at the requirements for these programs, it's nothing different than any other program that trains pilots. But you told people that they're just hiring women when that's not true.
First
They
of all,
go
I
to-
never said that.
Yes, you
Secondly,
did. I did a video on it, guy.
Yes, I know what I said. Secondly, when you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising the standards
you
of
mean?
excellence.
They're not hiring based
Allow
on
me
race,
to
though.
finish without interrupting.
All right, go ahead,
When
Lai.
you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising excellence to be able to pursue race. We know this with Harvard, University of California. We know this with major companies. We
Affirmative
know this
action
with the
again.
government. Exactly.
Always bring that
DEI. That is affirmative action is DEI philosophy
Which been
in
struck down
practice.
already. You're bringing old shit that's been
Allow
struck
me
down.
to finish
That's
my
crazy.
statement.
Go
They
ahead.
are actively defying the Supreme Court decision, or they are contorting their policies to try to fit their own DEI agenda. But let me ask you a question. If you were to board a United
Wait,
Airlines,
I ain't get the finish. Go ahead.
if you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse?
Another example, guys.
Answer.
In Cameroon, we have 10 regions. If the state of Cameroon wants to hire 100 cybersecurity analysts, for example, they're going to split those 100 by 10. And so get 10 people, 10 candidates in each region. That's what they're going to do. Now, the problem is maybe in West Cameroon, you're going to have like 20 or more than 20 people who during the exam got the score of over 15 out of 20. 15 out of 20. And now you go to East region and you got like 10 people. The 10 people in East region got like 12 out of 20. You see that? They got a score of 10 or maybe 12 out of 20. Now, you're going to eliminate 10 people because you got like more than 20 people in West region that got 15 out of 20. So you're going to eliminate like 10 people in Cameroon. That's the same country. That's the same country. Now they want to do it per region. Something like what they're talking about. It's not the same thing, but it's what they're talking about. They want to do the inclusion, something like that. So you're going to eliminate more intelligent people just because you want to do inclusion, because you just want to get people all around the country. No, it doesn't work like that. If, for me personally, if out of 100 you got like 50 people in the same city, get them. Get them. That's okay. If you just want to do diversity like that, it's not going to work. That's my point of view.
The question.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines,
Because in the pursuit of diversity,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sacrifice excellence every time. We know this with Harvard.
Right.
We know this with Yale.
So I got a
We know
question.
this with the military.
Right.
Every time,
Right.
every
Right.
example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent.
so
it becomes subpar.
when you go on a plane, do you go to the pilot and ask for your credentials, or do you believe that the airline did the right thing
No.
and hired the right? So you ask
No,
for
I
their
don't.
credentials.
Actually,
you don't.
I'm starting
you don't.
to.
So
well, hold on.
so
I
for
start
some
to doubt
reason,
it.
we
That
can
was
have
my
both
statement.
diversity and
That was
everything.
my statement. My
Right.
statement was when you're going to if you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs
Right.
the question: you are going to lower the standards.
So my
you are
question
going
is-
to you're going to put a square peg through a round hole. You are going to force something that naturally is not happening, and you will all of a sudden be playing a very treacherous and dangerous game when you board a plane. When I get heart surgery or if I board a plane, I don't care about the color of the skin of
Thank
the
you,
person
Fox.
doing it.
Right,
I
yeah.
want excellence and I want meritocracy.
Yes, yes.
We have come to the end of the video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do so now, and don't forget to like and share the video. See you in the next video, guys. I'm waiting on you in the comment section. Ciao.